And we are back. After my storage was full, so a video that I spent 3 minutes on got cut off, which is kind of disappointing because I was loving how it went. But we've been here before. We're just gonna go with it. We can use this as something to speak about because I'm feeling as though it's like, darn, that video was going really well. I was loving how it went. And it's like there's a part of me that feels as though it will be impossible to recreate. And I think that is honestly true. I do think it's true because in trying to recreate it, it would become so much less authentic. The idea of wanting to recreate something like that would feel so inauthentic to me. And so I'm just moving forward with the knowledge that it's just a new video. And I know my power. I know that I can create out of nothing. It's what we're doing in this moment. And I love how, as I said, this happening sort of created something new to speak about. And now I'm thinking, I think it said it switched my storage to the SD card, which means that this video could shut off at any point because I normally like to have it on my internal storage. And that idea brings up this, I'm not going to say a fear, but it's just like a, please don't. Let's get through a full video. But that's from the past because, as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, I know that I have the power to create a brand new video out of nothing. So the loss of a video is absolutely meaningless. So there's nothing to even worry about at all. And I love how this video is going already. I'd say it's better than the last one. I feel myself trying to think about what I was talking about in the last one. But in a sense, is that me holding on to the past? Is that me not trusting in what's naturally happening? Maybe that video was meant to shut off for some reason. I can leave it in the past. It's like this is interesting. It's like this desire to remember what I was speaking about is past energy. And it's in regards to me trying to hold on to and retrieve past energy. It's like I remember I had this thought and it was really meaningful, or whatever, or this idea. And I remember the fact that it was meaningful and powerful, but I can't retrace my way back to it. Let's completely change the subject. I remembered something from earlier. I love how at peace I am with how this is going. But I remembered as I was walking away from the last 2 videos I did this morning, I had an experience that I was able to recognize as happening fairly often when I leave a video. And I was able to, I love how this is happening. I was able to recognize how it's a very huge parallel to me walking away from a conversation in the past, where I would suddenly recognize what I would label as mistakes or things that could have gone better, or I'd say further in the past, like many years ago, I would sort of like not be confident enough to hold on to my perspective and sort of just agree, even though I knew I was right. And it wasn't just it was a trauma response, meaning it was something that I couldn't control because of the, you could say, anxiety would sort of overtake my ability to and it was a lack of self-knowing, honestly, how my mind worked. But I would walk away and suddenly recognize that something we can just say, took blame for, or a perspective that I didn't defend, I would walk away and finally recognize that I could have defended it. But only in the aftermath was I able to recognize that. Or I would walk away and suddenly recognize all these extra points I could have made to make something I said so much more accurate or believable or whatever. And in a sense, it's sort of like the same energy I'm speaking about, or I've spoken about like before speaking. It's this preparation so as to combat this experience in the aftermath. This is interesting. But I noticed it when I left my videos this morning. And I was able to make peace with it and just recognize it as something from the past to have compassion for and understand and know that it doesn't matter, because it really doesn't matter anymore. I'm bringing this up now because it's something I began to perceive as I was speaking about what I was just speaking about. But I'm loving how I'm getting into more, like when I brought up the word anxiety, it sort of sprung to mind this idea of, or this feeling of loving that I'm getting into speaking about anxiety, I guess. It's like entering a new realm. Especially my own experience in regards to, I think it's different. I'm experiencing it as different because, and this is actually a great example of what I was talking about earlier, because I'm perceiving a difference, but it's very nuanced. And for me, this is, I can actually jump back over to what I was speaking about a little bit ago now. It's because of the complexity and the nuance that, but also the fear and trauma from the past coupled together. But the nuance and the fear, and more than that, the intuitive nature of my mind, which made communication so very hard for me in the past. But I'm feeling myself, as I've spoken about, I've been gaining this level of comfort in making these videos, and that's something I'm experiencing right now. But I'm also noticing how I'm just feeling the totality of all of the progress I'm making in these videos in regards to my comfort, in regards to so much not mattering anymore, like what I've spoken about or how I was able to speak about it, just so much. And this is actually a good example. I'm feeling it as this just single entity of experience and perception, and it's something that is very hard to articulate the depth and how much is actually going into this perception and experience. And it's like, I love how all of this is sort of tying together. And I love how, as I said that, I was like, it may not be perceivable to other people what I'm speaking about in regards to all of it tying together. And I'm feeling at such peace with that idea, which, there's a weird bug on my wrist, which is just another level of the comfort that I'm experiencing. So we are gonna say hello to the birds for a couple seconds and then say goodbye, because this is the end of the video.